going to ask you about that.
Yeah.
If you were thinking about, writing your own story and making a film out of it. Because the independent film industry right now is popping for us, black and brown people. Like, that's where the money's at.
My story, I have a documentary coming soon. You know what I mean? It's in progress right now. And I'm writing a book. It'll come out probably in the next 2 to 3 years. I'm looking at, release. But, I've been working on a documentary for the last 10 years. So, yeah,
How important is it for you to tell your story to the younger generation? Because my son, he's a big hip hop head. And I'm not saying like he's not into the new artists. He's into the old school Wu-Tang,
right?
That era. So what advice do you have for that generation?
Well, recently, it's the 50th.
Yeah.
50th so-called, the so-called.
Yeah, we spoke about that many times here on the show.
Right.
It's a so-called.
Right. But at the end of the day, as a Boricua, as an MC that's been rocking all my life from Brownsville, Brooklyn, you got to do the knowledge as far as like Puerto Ricans on who Arturo Schomburg is. He founded the Center of African American Studies in Harlem. A Puerto Rican did that. All right, so all of this, like, there's myths and stuff, you know what I mean? That people gonna say who started this, who started that. You gotta really understand, like, there's people that's been here way before the 70s. We were here during the 60s, Boricuas, Cubans, all of us was here. You know what I mean? But we came in shifts. So at the end of the day, like, he needs to know, like, he needs to know that he's part of this culture. We are part of this. We are the culture. There's no excluding. There's no argument being had saying, oh yeah, this and that was started by a certain race. No, it was New York City in a whole. This started here. The culture that was bred and born here, that was brought here then, still exists in other places throughout the U.S. now. So it grew. He needs to know that there's people that made other people's lives better with hip hop. That it's not just music. It's a culture, and that's one thing that I'm here to reiterate for a lot of people out there that get misinformed about what hip hop truly is. You know what I mean? It's not only the music. It's the people. It's Caribbeans. It's Boricuas. It's Dominicanos. It's Panamanians. It's all of us. It's Jamaicans. It's everybody. Haitians. It's white boys too. At that time, that was doing graffiti. You know what I mean? Shout to some of my white boy rock heads that was rocking with us at the time. Graffiti heads and all that. The 5 elements. You know what I mean? Breaking, graffiti. You know what I mean? DJing, b-boying, b-girling. You know what I mean? He needs to understand that that's like church. You know what I mean? For a lot of people, and it still is for me. If you wasn't there, trust me, you know what I mean? It don't exist now, but the people the OGs that still living, still are moved by that same
by that vibe, yeah.
Still moved by it.
Study
It don't
the
leave.
history.
Yeah, make sure you study
history.
history. And shout out to Tone Vieira, who answered the question of who is the person that created lyricism during our podcast. Shout out to Coke LaRock, because this guy Tone throws random questions. And he asked Coke LaRock, who is anointed as the first MC of all time, where did he get the idea to rap? He got the idea from a guy named Felipe Luciano, who was Puerto Rican, but looked black, and was the head singer of the Last Poets.
Blind.
So where do we go from there?
1, 2,